denke gar nicht so. Ich denke nicht in Jahren.
Yo no pienso en años.
Die Glücksgefühle sind Augenblicke, Sekunden.
Las cosas alegres son momentos, son segundos.
Y si tuviera que escoger
Es
uno,
gibt
¿cuál
ein
cree que
Jahr,
sería?
gute und schlechte.
No hay un año, hay buenos y malos, pero no puedo elegir un año.
Puede elegir.
Without question, my big year was the birth of my first child, because becoming a father just completely changes your life, changes your perspective, changes your goals, changes everything. So that year changed my life. It was 1993.
I think my year, the year 1970-1971, that is, it's 1 year, it's a school year, from September to June, approximately. That period, when I was 13 and I turned 14 and I lived in Liberia, was a very big year for me. And I'll explain why. I was the son of a Foreign Service officer and a children's book author. I was one of 5 children. And I was raised in many different countries around the world, although I was born in California. We had lived in Korea, Colombia, Taiwan, Indonesia. And after an unfortunate move to Indonesia, in which we were evacuated medically, I nearly died of an illness, so did one of my younger sisters, and we had to return to the United States. I was very upset. I didn't want to come back to the United States. I was only 12, and a previous 10-month experiment, a previous 10-month experience there had been pretty traumatic. I hadn't adjusted well. The children in the school in Washington, D.C. and Virginia, just outside Washington, D.C., had called me a white chink because I had Chinese behavior, they thought. And so when we moved to Indonesia, I was very pleased to be leaving again, and to have it cut short after such a short period of time was a real blow to me. And so when we returned to the States, I was very upset. I ran away a few times, and my parents, in despair over what to do with me, asked me if I wanted to go and live for a year with my Uncle Warren, who was a geologist, my mother's brother, in Liberia, where he was living with his family as a geologist. And I leapt at the chance, and I immediately said yes, and I was thrilled to go to live in Africa. As I said, we lived in Asia and Latin America, but I always dreamed of going to Africa, and I had reared myself on books about African animals and explorers and naturalists, and I wanted nothing more than to go to Africa. And so it was that at 13 I went to live with my Uncle Warren and my Aunt Doris in Liberia. This was Liberia at a very particular time. If Africa was in some ways engulfed with post-colonial violence, I wasn't so aware of it at the time. And Liberia was a kind of anomaly because it was a state founded by freed slaves and somehow left outside of the whole colonial experience. It was affecting other countries. This was an experience in a world that seemed timeless and extremely rare, and this was the Africa of my imaginings. Africa, unadulterated Africa, with its own spirit world, its own creation myths, its own realities. I would like to take another year just to re-experience the world as I did in Liberia, without necessarily, doing it because I needed to write a story about it, or to, but to, like I did with Liberia, where I was writing a journal. In some cases, just following my instincts, rather than on assignment, if you know what I mean. So imagine doing that. I've often thought I would like to learn how to sail and sail around the world. It would have to be a wooden boat, and it wouldn't be a yacht exactly. It would be a wooden boat, and I would like to do that before I get too old to do it. That would be fun.